thank you for taking the time. For me, it's the morning. For you, it's the evening, right? No more coffee for you?
No more coffee, otherwise I'll be off the wall.
There you go. Well, you started off the year knowing, hey, I put out a single in December. How much of your 2023 is planned versus just waiting and see what happens?
So this year I'm taking kind of a different approach where I'm actually planning quite far in advance with my releases. So it's quite planned. Dates are still being figured out, but I think that I'm very excited to be releasing quite a lot of music in the next year.
Right. Your career so far has been a mix of collaborations and EPs. Will we ever see a full length, or is the EP the thing for you for the future?
Well, so this year I'm planning on releasing 2 to 3 EP projects in which I'm going to build a story. And then the plan is for 2024 to compile some songs that I've released in the past a few years ago, and then things from this year, and create them all into a body of work. Because I feel like I like the slow process of building up the story and getting to know who I am before releasing such a big body of work, so people are more invested.
I admire how patient you've been with your career. A lot of people, when they sign a record deal when they're 18, 19 years old, they'd be expecting, hey, this is going to be out ASAP. But you've been in development, you've taken your time in a way. Have you always been this patient, or are you just waiting for the industry to tell you stuff?
You know what, it's been hard, but to be honest, I think that music it's so special to me that the thought of rushing anything feels worse than waiting. And I feel like I'll know in myself when it's time to release an album or something like that. And it doesn't feel like the right time yet. So it feels, I feel kind of half patient and half like I'm kind of trusting my intuition. And
I get it. I mean, to talk about myself for a second, I have a book that I turned in 3-4 months ago, and I said, great, when's it coming out? And they said, spring 2024. And rather than fighting it, I just go, okay, well, let's do other stuff between now and then. In your case, have you been collaborating with other artists or some form? Because the way that a lot of people first found out about you was the track with Black Coffee.
Yeah, exactly. I've been doing a lot of stuff with other artists and creating I've got a lot of kind of side projects and art projects that I've been doing that have taken up a lot of my life, and also writing, I don't know, ghost writing for people. And there's much more that I've been doing aside from my solo career. And so I feel like that's kind of given me the luxury to be able to take it slow. And obviously as an artist, I'm a perfectionist. So for me, something like an album, when I release my first album, I want to get it right. I want it to be the best album ever that I could have done. And I feel like I'm nearly there now. But you know, there's no rush for me.
Has all this been London based, or have you been sent on assignment to New York and Los Angeles for that collaboration stuff?
A mixture. I've kind of dotted around everywhere. I've been based out of London, but I'm soon to be based out of Los Angeles.
Okay.
Next month. Yeah, which will be a fun change, and I'm really looking forward to it. It feels like a fresh start in a nice way, and it's inspiring doing that. So that's exciting.
Well, and a place that doesn't rain every day.
I mean, it's actually pouring with rain right now. I've got a studio over there in my garden, and I literally just now to come in here for the interview, I like ran with my laptop, and it's very gray.
Yeah, LA, pros and cons, but a lot of pros, and congratulations in advance on that. But back to you, I couldn't figure this out. Who was that first artist that made you went, I'm going to do this, or I want to do this for a career, as opposed to just sing along with the radio like a lot of people growing up?
For me, it was Carole King. Her album Tapestry is, I just think that's one of the greatest masterpieces of all time.
Mhm.
And I heard that when I was probably about 5 or 6. And I just was like, okay, wow, this is what I have to do.
When
I just,
watching you on YouTube performing, sometimes it's you on piano, sometimes it's you on guitar. Was piano the first instrument?
guitar was actually the first.
Oh,
Guitar was the first. I remember when I was like 5, I like said to my mum, I was like, you have to buy me a guitar. And she bought me this nylon stringed guitar. And then we had a piano in our house growing up, and I'd never really touched it. And then when I was about 7, I got bored of the guitar as typical child and started playing on the piano. And then ever since, it's just been a mixture.
hmm. Do the songs sometimes get written on the piano and sometimes on guitar and sometimes on laptop with playing around with the beats?
Yeah, usually the past few years it's mainly been piano. Yeah, no, I don't usually write kind of laptop. I like writing songs with an instrument before touching the kind of electronic stuff. And yeah, recently it has been a lot of piano.
Interesting. When you're collaborating with other artists, is it always the same thing where you start it and then they finish it, or is it depending on what the collaboration is, that's how it goes?
Honestly, yeah, it totally depends. Sometimes they'll take something I've done, or sometimes I'll take something they've done, or sometimes we'll be in the room together and it will just all happen at once. It completely depends on the situation.
I ask that because sometimes you find out that some of the top co-writers in music, all they do is one thing. Like that person is the vibes person. They don't play an instrument, they don't sing, they're just there to make the joy happen and the vibes happen. And then other people, it's they only do top line. But in listening to your music, you seem very flexible and working to the situation or arrangement, unlike a lot of other co-writers.
Yeah, totally. I think that, yeah, I mean, it's a very valuable thing bringing the vibes. It's because often it's all about the vibes, but no, I'm definitely proactive with the writing part. But yeah, I think it's I just find it really fun being flexible and trying out all these different genres and people. I just think that for me, that's what art is all about, and that's what life is about. And I'm not the kind of artist where I just want to like stay in my lane. I've been told a lot of, stay in your lane, and I'm like, maybe I've got loads of lanes, and maybe I've got a whole village of lanes, and that's all right.
Yeah. Hence why it's hard to describe you. Are you a singer-songwriter? Are you a producer? Are you a collaborator? But it sounds like you're at peace with the many lanes.
I think, you know what, it's taken me many years to be at peace with the fact that maybe I don't even know exactly what I am or who I am, and maybe that's okay. And I think that it's very common, especially being signed at a young age, you're kind of expected and told, like, to know who you are and what you want for the next 10 years, and to know
Right.
exactly how you want it all to look. And I couldn't do that in an authentic way, so I've never done that. And I think that now, with hindsight, I'm so glad, because it's all growth and learning. And I feel like, I started releasing music when I was so young that it kind of
Mhm.
shows my journey. And, maybe I'll look back at some of the songs I've released and I'll be like, oh God, that is so not me. But it was me at the time, and that's okay. It's like a tattoo, like sometimes
Yeah.
you hate them. It's part of your story, and that's okay.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think about every artist has that point where they hate the youngest, earliest material that they did, but it's what the crowd wants to hear. And then they cross over to that point where they see what the reaction is and they can sing it as a character rather than themselves, and they just laugh at it a little bit and it brings the enjoyment. So they don't mind the baby pictures in a way.
Exactly. Baby pictures.
Well, back to you. 2 questions and then I'll let you go. And the first one is, the 2023-2024 plans, will we be seeing you performing live?
Yes, definitely. I'm working on a residency in LA at the moment, to be confirmed, and then a few festivals as well. So yeah, I'll definitely be on the scene.
Okay, so you are not slowing down anytime soon. And the last question related to playing live is, what's the last concert that you went to for fun? Not for work, not, hey, I might be writing with this person, I'll check them out. Not, hey, my label told me to go here. What's the last thing that you went to for enjoyment purposes?
Stevie Nicks at the Hollywood Bowl a few months ago, and it was incredible. And a friend of mine got us tickets really close up. And honestly, it was one of the best shows I've ever seen. She's just killed it, and her voice is incredible. And yeah, I'd say that one.
Good taste. Well, thank you for your time, Delilah. Looking forward to seeing you live in the near future. Looking forward to the new music, and just keep up all that greatness.
Thank you. So nice to meet you.
Paltrocast.